So a lot of people do make the assertion that, or ask us why we don't teach the spiritual dimensions of the Enneagram in the work that we do. There are a number of reasons for this. For me, I'm a former seminarian, and I take spirituality very seriously. I take religion very seriously. And for me, I think when anybody is positioning themselves as a spiritual teacher, they should have qualifications, right? One of the challenges with the Enneagram is that there's almost no barrier to entry to becoming an Enneagram teacher. Anybody can read a book, start teaching Enneagram workshops the next day. The same thing happens a lot in spiritual circles. A lot of people can just decide to call themselves a spiritual teacher without being part of a tradition, without having serious training in it. And this can cause a lot of problems because people end up messing with things that they're not equipped to mess with. They open up elements of people's psyche without being skilled in how to put them back together. Because we are not trained in a spiritual tradition, we're not part of a spiritual lineage, and we don't have any authorization to position ourselves as spiritual teachers. We simply don't do it.
Now, the fact that we don't present ourselves as spiritual teachers or that we have the spiritual school or programs doesn't mean that what we're doing does not provide tools that aid the spiritual work. I think that that's an important distinction because what we don't do is, as I said, present ourselves as such, nor talk a lot with spiritual vocabulary. We try to avoid big words that seem spiritual, but we do address things that are really deep and affect how we develop our spiritual, in our spiritual path.
And I think it's important, as you say that, to, again, go back to what we define as spirituality, right? The cultivation of wisdom, the cultivation of compassion and efficacy, right? So we're very clear to stay away from metaphysics. We're very clear to stay away from any conversation about the supernatural, because these are things that all sorts of people bring their own point of view to, and we want to respect people's points of view in these areas. So we kind of leave that as a separate topic for people to explore.
So what we are doing is presenting an approach to the Enneagram that hopefully is so robust and clear and useful that you can apply in every area of your life. So it could be in business, in your leadership, and it could be in your spiritual growth, in your relationships, in everything. Now, spiritual, again, it's these fuzzy things sometimes, but to me, having a better relationship with the people around you, it's very spiritual. And the Enneagram, as we're presenting it, it's a great tool for that.